Hello, listeners, and welcome to yet another episode of the Nigeria Football Weekly podcast with me, your host, Onuachu. Today's episode 119. I know we've been making moves for a while, and we've got another bumper episode for your listening pleasure today. First of all, major talking points for this week. Going to be talking about all the goals that were scored by Nigerian players, particularly in the top 5 leagues and also in the other leagues around Europe, including our star players like Osimhen and co. Also touching on some interesting news that we've heard about the NFF in terms of friendly games that they're going to play and their rationale behind it. And then also the Nigerian Under-20 team will know who they're going to play in the Under-20 AFCON, which is taking place in Cote d'Ivoire from April to May. After that, of course, I'm doing the usual previews around how our players are performing in all their leagues, how they performed in last week, and who they're going to play. So just make sure to check the show notes in case you have any particular parts that you want to watch and you're not one of the people that listens to the whole episode. But I just wanted to say a big thank you to all the listeners. Last week was probably one of our best episodes viewership-wise and listenership-wise. So I think the new format is definitely working, and long may it continue. So without any further ado, what did we see over the past week in football regarding Nigerian footballers? Well, we saw a lot of goals. 6 of our players scored in the top 5 leagues alone over the past 7 days. I'm recording this on Monday night. And we also saw Arokodare and Osimhen continue to do very well. So who do we need to call out? Bassey, rock at the back of the Nigerian defense. Bassey scored the winning goal for Fulham on Saturday in the game against Nottingham Forest with a fantastic header from a corner kick. What I also loved about this goal was he initially was not a fault, but Chris Wood's equalizer for Nottingham Forest deflected off him. So it was nice for him to see the redemption he could get from that particular issue, and then to score his first goal of the season in the Premier League. And if you even see the way the Fulham players all mobbed him, you can tell this is a player that's well loved among his teammates. So, shout out to Bassey. Also, Gift Orban. The gifts can never go away, if you know what I'm saying. Gift Orban, we know how things went for him at Lyon, but now Hoffenheim, he's beginning to find his feet. He just scored his 3rd goal in 4 games for Hoffenheim. Amazing finish, honestly. The cross came in. One of those balls where the ball is crossed from the right side of the pitch and the striker is just peeling off and heads it back towards basically where the ball has come back from, into the back of the net. So fantastic for Gift Orban, and Hoffenheim won the game as well, 3-1 away. So big result for both the team and for the players' confidence. Christantus Uche, I will not stop banging on about this man. Christantus Uche was electric, yes, again for Getafe. He scored his 3rd goal of the season and his 2nd goal in this calendar year of 2025. Fantastic finish as well. He had the ball in his right foot and just banged it straight into the bottom left corner. He also played a very instrumental part in Getafe's winner. It was a 2-1 win against Girona, which is no mean feat. Girona won the Champions League this year, so we know that they're not an easy team, even though they've regressed slightly from their exploits of last season. But Christantus Uche, he also powered through the ball, took a shot, which got... he laid the ball off to the striker, who then took a shot, and then when the ball came back out, Borja Mayoral then tapped in the rebound to give Getafe the 3 points. So shout out to Christantus Uche. If Uche is not in the Super Eagles squad on when they announced the list in 2 weeks, then I don't know what Eric Chell is doing. This guy is playing as a centre forward right now for Getafe. He can play as an attacking midfielder, and we know his primary position is central mid. And he's badding up La Liga, man. I just love to see it. So shout out to you, Christantus Uche. Who else did we see score? Umar Sadiq scored his 1st goal in La Liga this season for his new club, Valencia. Really amazing to see for him. Good finish as well. It was 1-0 to Villarreal. Next thing you know, the ball gets played in between the lines, and Rafa Mir took a shot, which is goalkeeper parried, but he parried it straight into Umar Sadiq's path. And Umar Sadiq is tall, so he just had to head the ball straight into the back of the net. So that will do an amazing world of good for his confidence. So we love to see that as well. George Ilenikhena, 18-year-old star boy, born in Lagos. We know he moved to France when he was age 3, but at the moment he's a Nigeria national. Even Monaco keep tweeting Nigeria flags. So please, NFF, I will talk about the stupid things you do, but please go and call this boy up. 18 years old, back from injury. literally came on in the 60th minute for Monaco in their 7-1 romp of Nantes. And what did he do? He bagged himself a nice brace, 81st minute and 90th minute. 81st minute goal, fantastic cross. He threw himself at the ball and just fantastic finish into the bottom corner with his head. And then the second goal, even better. I love a good left-footed striker. Took the ball into his stride, his stoppage time, and just banged it straight into the net to get his 2 goals. Chuba Akpom as well, it must be said, has had quite a nice start to his life in France. So we know he moved to Lille quite recently in the January transfer window. And he scored his Lille's second goal in this game after initially missing a penalty. He also had a goal disallowed in this game, so it was looking like it won't be his day. But man, perseverance is the name of the game. And shout out to Akpom, man, because nice composure, and he just finished it with his right foot. We know he's a former Arsenal graduate, so there's academy graduate, so there's always talents there. Tolu Arokodare also scored his 15th league goal of the season with the fantastic bullet header. He literally just told the crosser, put it in the mixer. In between 2 defenders, he just bullied them and just headed it straight in. So long may his exploits continue. And in my opinion, he should be number 3 or 4 in the pecking order of strikers right now when it comes to the Nigerian national team, considering his exploits throughout this season. And then finally, Ijaya Olusosun, Victor Osimhen, Nigeria's most important player. He was back in action earlier today for Galatasaray in their league game against Rizespor. We know their last game got abandoned after Dries Mertens' so-called dive. But anyway, today was a match where you can see the value of Osimhen in all its entirety. Every action for Galatasaray that mattered, Osimhen was involved in the attacking phase of play. Like, he bullied Rizespor defenders all the way. His first goal in this game, a header as well. Fantastic cross. Next thing you know, in fact, he just told his teammate, put it in the mixer. Osimhen was even being held off by the Rizespor defender, but it didn't matter. Half chances. He bullied the guy, put the ball straight into the net. And when all hope was almost getting lost for Galatasaray, 85th minute, what does Osimhen do again? It's a corner kick. Ball gets floated in. Mario Lemina nods, flicks the ball on, and what does Osimhen do? Just bangs it into the bottom corner with his head, literally off the bar. It was such a fantastic goal to see, and honestly, the emotion of scoring, even in stoppage time, you could still see him winning headers from the duels from Muslera's goal kicks, and the emotion once the game ended. You can tell he's really looking forward to winning the second league title of his career and his first for Galatasaray, because it's very likely that it will be a one and done season. But you know, as this season progresses, shout out to my new artwork, we gotta praise our star boy, try and just upgrade the settings. But shout out to Victor Osimhen for showing why he's our most important player in today's game. So that's one of the main talking points of the week. What else do we see that's massive this week? Nigeria, NFF have somehow, they've not even announced it, that's how shameless they are. But Nigeria is scheduled to play a friendly match against Russia. Yes, you heard that right. Russia that have been banned by FIFA. Please tell me the logic of this move. This whole year we are playing African teams, both in terms of World Cup qualifiers and the Nations Cup in January. Next, you have gone to organize a friendly with a team that is currently banned from FIFA and sanctioned, which means that the game does not even count towards your world rankings. I just cannot understand the logic of NFF. Of course, they've not even announced anything because they're probably thinking, what's the point? We are being run by clueless buffoons. I even saw an article in The Guardian in Nigeria where some NFF officials anonymously mentioned that how can Nigeria play a match against Russia? That means board members are not even aware. We're not even aware when this was being fixed together that a whole Nigeria will go and waste their time and play Russia. I don't even understand. We're 44th in the world now. Go and check the world ranking. A year ago, after AFCON final, which was just a year ago around this time, we were 28th in the world. We've dropped to 44th because of our useless performances. And now, you've now gone to go and play a game with a country that has been shunned by FIFA. There are 211 member nations in FIFA right now. You could not pick any of the others to play a friendly match. Even if you say you don't want to play against an African team, go and pick someone that will actually count towards your ranking. Nigeria said no, NFF, let's go and play Russia. I cannot understand. Is it not madness? And the game has been scheduled for the 6th of June. So guess what? That's when the season is over. Yes, we know it is an international window, which is very annoying for a lot of players. And not only there will be World Cup qualifiers in Europe, so some of them will have to just face the music. But where is the moral compass? The same way you see Nigerians defending nonsense on Twitter, whether it's misogyny, racism, anybody that does bad anything, you always see some Nigerians who go there and defend. We are showing that when it comes to our whole decadence of society, there is no level that they will not stoop low towards. But if it's time to be doing over religion, you see Nigeria there first place. I do not get it. Apart from the friendly fee that the Russian government or Russian FA have offered Nigeria, what is the benefit of this game? What is the benefit of this game? We're trying to build our country to be respected. Yet you are setting up friendly games against Russia. For who? For whose benefit? If any player pulls out now because season is over, they will now say they are unpatriotic. Because after match, we don't have World Cup qualifier games till September, or by the way. So anyway, NFF, we don't know. You continue to disgrace us. And you cannot even have the balls to announce the friendly that you have set up because of money. Money that will go into whose pocket? Who's going to play the match? And it's going to be played in Russia. Man, very, very stupid buffoons, honestly. I don't even know what to say. And then finally, in major talking points, I have to talk about the Nigeria Under-20 men's national team. This week that just passed, the draw for the AFCON, Under-20 AFCON took place, and Nigeria have been put into the quote-unquote group of death alongside Egypt, South Africa, and Morocco. We know Morocco, Egypt at the moment, when it comes to the way they're developing their team and making moves, they cannot be messed with. South Africa also have good harmony, so let's see what happens. This competition will take place in Cote d'Ivoire in April and May. And remember, the top 4 teams, so the teams that make the semi-finals, would qualify automatically to the Under-20 World Cup, which will be taking place later this year in Chile. So that is what is at stake. In interesting news, because I don't want to just blame them for being stupid, we did hear that 2 Nigerian players who are based in the UK have been called up for the Under-20 team. So we are maximizing our diaspora talents too, not just Nigerian talents. Dube Eze from Bolton Wanderers and Abube Onuachu have both received invitations. So good to see, and let's see how they play. I know there was a story by one of my revered colleagues, Eagles Tracker, about rumors around players having to pay to be a part of the team. We know that this is likely true. It's Nigeria. We know how these things happen. Apparently, between $5,000 to $8,000 per player. I mean, are we shocked? In Nigerian society right now, everybody asks for money at all levels. So NFF, they will never ever get the rot. And these same people that just organize friendly with Russia for money. So we know that there's nothing they will not do, those useless buffoons. You can understand why some people will not decide to play for us. If we now say we want to go and get the likes of Nwaneri and Co now, we rightfully know we're wasting our time. But look how NFF is moving. Look at things I've just mentioned to you today like that. So anyway, those are the major talking points for this week. But anyway, to get straight into the player review, starting with the Premier League as usual. Great news for Leicester City. Ndidi was back in action. Although his team lost to my beloved Arsenal 2-0. Shout out to you, Mikel Merino. God bless you. It has to be said, Ndidi played very well. You can see the difference he makes to that Leicester squad when he's on the pitch. He's just a Rolls Royce of a player, man, a machine. And honestly, it was just amazing to see. He had at least 2 or 3 very good opportunities he should have scored 2. But, you know, we'll give him grace as per DM/central midfielder. But good to see Wilfred Ndidi back playing for Leicester, which is obviously good news for Nigeria because we need Ndidi to play for those World Cup qualifiers. Next up for Leicester, they play Brentford at home on this Friday. So that's going to be a crucial game because right now it looks like it's between Leicester, Ipswich and Wolves. Two of those teams are going to be relegated. Southampton are already gone anyway because they're too far behind. As for Nottingham Forest in 3rd place, all I know was rested during the midweek last week for the FA Cup game while Awoni scored a very, very fantastic goal against Exeter City before he broke his nose. They ended up drawing the game 2-2 and they're winning 4-2 on penalties. On Saturday, we then saw Olaina play 90 minutes in the Snapchat derby. You know, Nottingham Forest played Fulham. And we know Olaina and Alex Iwobi both love their Snapchat. And of course, Bassey scored the winning goal in this game, which was amazing to see. So it had the Nigeria flavor sprinkled all over this game. So shout out to the boys. Better luck for next time, Olaina. You know, Awoni, of course, not in the squad because of his injury. But Nottingham Forest still remain 3rd in the main time. Next up for them, though, they go to Newcastle away on Sunday. So another tough game for Nottingham Forest. It looks like they're beginning to revert to type, but hopefully they could still push on for the final games to still make Europe, to crown their achievements, all their hard work for this season. As for Fulham, Alex Iwobi and Bassey both played 90 minutes. Star boys, Snapchat boys, you know, Bassey scoring the winning goal. It has to just be. we just have to praise Bassey, man. What an amazing day for him, an amazing day out for his teammates. So next up for them, they play Crystal Palace at home on Saturday. As for Aribo and Onuachu, both of them started over in the Premier League over the weekend as well. But of course, Southampton lost the game 3-1 to Bournemouth. But Onuachu said, I'm not leaving. I'm leaving here with something. And he really left with something because he got an assist for Kamaldeen Suleimana's goal. Shout out to our Ghanaian brothers when the game was already 2-0 at that time, so he made it 2-1. But anyway, Onuachu is selling into the Prem, and at least his rep is growing, even though it's just a shame that he's playing for such a bomber, useless team. Next up for them, they play Brighton at home, so you might as well charge that to. They're going to lose that game anyway. Game week results that we saw. Shout out to Everton. You gave me one of the best dopamine hits of my life that did not involve Nigeria or Arsenal last week Wednesday, when James Tarkowski banged that ball in the last minute against Liverpool in the Merseyside derby, the last one ever at Goodison Park, I must add. Honestly, I was so happy. Yes, Liverpool probably will still win the league, but any points that they drop, we'll take it. Then VAR now took forever, just like going over the decisions. So I was wondering if Liverpool would go catch life again. But shout out to James Tarkowski for that. Chelsea got packed in 3-0 by Brighton. Brighton, just what a wonderful performance. Thomas goal. I mean, what a sexy touch. Chelsea, where were the ones that were crying that you were in a title race at the start of the season? What's happened, guys? What's happening? Maresca ball. We do. The Leicester fans told you how the second half of the season went for Leicester last year. You thought they were gaslighting you, eh? Okay, now. And of course, Brentford beat West Ham 1-0. Kevin Shadi scored. We know he was eligible for Nigeria, but good riddance plays for Germany now. Aston Villa drew 1-1 against Ipswich Town. Watkins scored. Liam Delap scored. I hope Aston Villa, all these ones that are drawing against Ipswich at home, I hope you are saving your good performances for later, if you know what I'm talking about. Because when Liverpool come to town on Wednesday, you better rise. Unai Emery, Ollie Watkins, Arsenal fan, you better rise it. Rise it, please. I'm begging you. Newcastle too, useless. They lost 4-0 to Man City. Shout out to Omar Mamouche, man. That's a shooter right there. 4-0. So Man City too, I hope your confidence is building before you play Liverpool on Sunday. You know, Liverpool's next 2 games, Aston Villa away and Man City away. So please, I would like some favors, please. That would be lovely. Everton beat Crystal Palace 2-1, and the David Moyes effect just continues to troop along, man. Now they're definitely clear of the relegation zone. They're 30 points. I think they're ahead of Man United, to be honest. So shout out to David Moyes and everything he's doing at Everton, man. Those guys look really good. Yesterday on Sunday, Liverpool beat Wolverhampton 2-1. First half, they scored a penalty and Luis Diaz bundled the ball over. In the second half, Liverpool actually had no shots and Wolves had 10 shots. Cunha scored another amazing goal. I don't know why Arsenal not trying to sign Cunha, man. But Arteta, now you do that one shot. Anyway, we see. But Liverpool look a bit squeaky, it must be said, a bit squeaky. But we'll see, shall we observe on Wednesday. We will be there to watch that game. And of course, Don versus Dunbar derby. James Maddison scored the winner for Tottenham as they beat Manchester United 1-0. Deserved win for Tottenham, but my God, Man United have some awful finishers. When I say awful, you say what? Awful. They are terrible. So, games to look forward to, as I said on Wednesday, Aston Villa hosts Liverpool at Villa Park. I hope they can do something for Arsenal, but let's see. And then on Friday, we'll see Leicester play Brentford. And then the early kickoff on Saturday sees Everton host Man United at Goodison Park. Probably going to pack Man United again. I mean, even in the history of when this clown house now finishing 8th, I don't think we've ever seen a top 6 side this bad in the Premier League era like Man United. Like, literally, they are so useless. They're 15th. 15th. Hi, Manchester United. And it doesn't look like it's getting any better anytime soon. Even their best player, Ahmad, is not injured. So long may it continue because they deserve the suffering. Bournemouth will host Wolverhampton in one of the 3 p.m. kickoffs, 4 p.m. Nigeria time, of course. Ipswich Town also hosts Tottenham at home. Remember, Ipswich beat Tottenham away earlier this season. Southampton hosts Brighton. Arsenal hosts West Ham at the Emirates Stadium. Fulham hosts Crystal Palace. These are all 4 p.m. kickoff games in Nigeria. And the late kickoff game will see Aston Villa host Chelsea at Villa Park. So big week ahead for all the teams chasing that 4th spot in the Prem. On Sunday, we'll see Newcastle host Nottingham Forest. What should be a very tasty game, considering both of those teams have had really bad form over the past 2 weeks. So somebody has to rise it. And then the big one, Manchester City hosts Liverpool. 5:30 p.m. Nigeria time, 4:30 p.m. kickoff in London. I mean, in Manchester, sorry, but in England, sure. So look forward to those games, and it should be a very, very tasty one. Liverpool continue to lead the way, 60 points after 25 games. It looks like it's their league title to lose for sure. Arsenal second, 53 points, and then we see Nottingham Forest in third place with 47 points. However, Man City are now fourth, 3 points adrift of Nottingham Forest. And then we see Bournemouth and Chelsea 1 point behind with 43 in 5th and 6th. You also have Newcastle 41 points, Fulham at 8th with 39, Aston Villa 9th with 38, and then Brighton 10th with 37 points. So we literally have a scenario where 4th position Man City and 10th place Brighton are separated by 7 points, which is the same gap Liverpool have on 2nd place Arsenal. So we're in for a treat. Relegation, you know the bombs there, no need to talk about them. Good luck to Man United in 15th place. So that's it in terms of the Premier League. Just quickly run through the top 5 leagues in Serie. Lookman is still injured, but we expect him to be back in March. And boy, do Atalanta miss him. They drew 0-0 against Cagliari over the weekend to really stumble in the title race. And we know that, yes, they got a very dodgy pen given against them, but they're currently 2-1 down against Club Brugge in their Champions League playoff round. So he's not going to play their next game on Tuesday. Besides, Dele-Bashiru was on the bench. Lazio drew 2-2 against Napoli. Great goal by Buladia. It was just a great game, to be honest. But Napoli continued to survive, man. They were even unlucky not to win this game. So Lazio are 5th. They're level on points with Juventus, as both of them tried to get the 4th place spot in Serie A, which will obviously get them in the Champions League. I mean, how amazing would that be if Dele-Bashiru goes to the Champions League when literally like 2 seasons ago he was playing in Ligue 1? I would love to see that, you know. So watch out for that space. Next up for Lazio, they play Venezia away on Saturday. As for Samuel Chukwueze, he played 30 minutes in AC Milan's 1-0 loss to Feyenoord in the Champions League on Wednesday. I mean, to Feyenoord, yeah, on Wednesday. And then he was on the bench as Milan beat Verona 1-0. The new striker, Santiago Jimenez, who they signed from Feyenoord, ironically, scoring his 2nd goal in Serie A in 2 games. The writing's on the wall for Chukwueze. Sergio Conceição does not like him. His AC Milan career is not going well. I can see him being shipped in the summer, unless he can somehow figure it out. But it has not worked for him at all. We have to be honest. Anyway, let's see if he gets any minutes tomorrow when they play Feyenoord in the Champions League. And then they play Torino away on Saturday, 5 p.m. kick-off. And then Maduka Okoye, of course, is not fit for Udinese, even though they won 3-0 against Empoli. Great result for them. But we expect him back at the end of the month. Next up for Udinese, they play Lecce away on Friday. In the Bundesliga, Nathan Tella played 85 minutes, while Victor Boniface was on a new sub as they drew 0-0 against Bayern Munich. Nathan Tella was amazing in this game. I watched the highlights. Every action, Nathan Tella was involved. He hit the bar. He had so many shots. Like, he was just peppering the goal. Just very unlucky performance from Nathan Tella. And honestly, this is another player like Christantus Uche. If he's not in the squad for the next Nigeria squad, then I don't know what Eric Chelle is doing. This guy is playing for Bayer Leverkusen, starting games in the Champions League, starting games for the 2nd best team in the Bundesliga. Call him up. He's a very, 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 very good player. And he can also play right wing where we're managing Chukwueze right now. So there's no reason Tella should not be starting for us right now, to be honest. So I would love to see that. Next up, they play Holstein Kiel away on Saturday. So if I'm Leverkusen, just focus on finishing 2nd and see how far you can get in the Champions League, and also try and win the DFB Pokal when the semi-final comes around. Gift Orban, of course, I mentioned his exploits over the weekend as Hoffenheim beat Werder Bremen 3-1. So shout out to him. Akpoguma came up for the final 2 minutes, so it didn't really matter this one. Shout out to you, Gift Orban. However, Orban was taken off for an injury in 76 minutes, so hopefully it's nothing serious, because when you're catching form like that, you want to keep the momentum up. So hopefully we'll see him play when they play Stuttgart at home on Saturday. As of Onyeka, he played 90 minutes. His team drew 0-0 again, but it was against Leipzig. But all Berg's games are just boring. They just draw 0-0 or lose 1-0 or win 1-0. But anyway, shout out to him. In La Liga, of course, I mentioned Christantus Uche's performance over the weekend. Fantastic exploits for him. Next up for them, they play Real Betis at home on Sunday. As for Ejuke came on to play 15 minutes and got an assist as Sevilla beat Real Valladolid 4-0. Very, very good assist. I mean, 83rd minute, I think Valladolid were trying to score a goal, even though they're already 3-0 down. Ejuke literally ran 50 yards up the pitch and just laid the ball to Lukabakio, who just banged in with his left foot. Really, really good finish from Lukabakio, and good to see Ejuke getting in on the goals or assists, which is really lovely to see. Also, Umar Sadiq, as I mentioned, scored his first La Liga goal for Valencia. Really good and lovely to see. He did get a yellow card in the game, but let's see if he could keep the momentum up and hopefully start their next game, which will be away. I mean, at home against Atletico Madrid, because Valencia needed. They're still in the relegation zone, but 18th is better than 20th, so hope rising. In Ligue 1, I already just spoke about George Ilenikhena's exploits, so hopefully we'll see if he can continue that against Nantes. I mean, after they just demolished Nantes 7-1. Let's see if he can maintain that tomorrow when Monaco go away against Benfica. We know that at the moment Benfica are 1-0 up from the first leg, so Monaco have it all to do tomorrow. And then Monaco play Lille away on Saturday to play Chuba Akpom. 4th versus 5th, so very, very important clash as those teams try to push towards the Champions League places. I also spoke about Chuba Akpom's performance, missed penalty, had a goal overruled for offside, but then finally scored in the 86th minute as they beat Rennes 2-0, so shout out to him, and let's see if he could score again when they play Monaco. As for Nantes, this game was so interesting. You know, I tell you that Osayi-Samuel likes being a big fish in a small pond, real big Chandler. And my God, if you know how this game went, Nantes first scored 1-0. Osayi-Samuel got the assist, his 7th assist in Ligue 1 this season, his top assister in the whole league. Fantastic. Next thing you know, a Nantes player puts his thoughts to tackle a Monaco player. Boom. What then happens from there? Red card. Even after the red card, Nantes still had another chance. So they know it wasn't 1-1 until the final minutes of the first half. And somehow they lost 7-1. You just have to laugh. Anyway, next up for them, they play Lens at home on Sunday. So let's see if they can improve their performance because they're just above the relegation zone at the moment. Hamza General did not play for Lens in their 2-0 loss to Strasbourg, so it's not looking good for him at the moment. But let's see if he could play when they play Nantes away on Sunday. Gabriel Osho is also on a new sub for Auxerre in their 2-2 draw against Brest. So let's see if he plays when they play Marseille at home on Saturday. And Orakpo was not in the squad for Nice in their game. So that's it in terms of the top 5 leagues. Just because of time, let me quickly move on to the other leagues this week. Starting in Turkey, of course, Victor Osimhen, I already spoke about his exploits earlier today. Just scaring man. And what I also love is it maintains their 6-point lead over Fenerbahce. Another thing to mention is Osimhen did not play in the Europa League last week Thursday due to suspension. And guess what happened? Galatasaray got packed in 4-1 by AZ Alkmaar. So it's like the Europa League campaign is pretty much done and dusted. Unless Ijaya Olusosun can somehow save the day again on Thursday, maybe he'll give us hat-trick. We shall see. All shall be revealed very, very soon. So let's see how it gets on when they play AZ Alkmaar on Thursday. They will be the home team, so let's see if they could improve performances. And then on Monday, the big one in Turkey, Galatasaray versus Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce. Galatasaray are the home team. Remember, in the reverse leg, Fenerbahce got destroyed by Galatasaray. It was really bad. And I remember I was in Turkey watching that game, and it was really sad for them. But anyway, if Galatasaray can win this game, they're 6 points ahead. They'll go 9 points clear, and the title is pretty much done and dusted. But if they somehow lose to Mourinho's boys, then we have a title race on our hands. So watch out for that one. Speaking of Fenerbahce, Osayi-Samuel did play 45 minutes in the Europa League on Thursday as Fenerbahce destroyed Anderlecht 3-0 in the Europa League. So it looks like Fenerbahce are likely to be the sole representative of Turkey in the Europa League going forward. But let's see. And then let's see what then happens when they play Galatasaray on Monday. But Osayi-Samuel came off the bench again in the weekend in their 3-1 win over Kasipasa. So it looks like he's lost his place as a starter, but hopefully he can ginger and get it back. I also wanted to mention Babajide Akintola. I forgot to mention, in that Galatasaray win over Rizespor, Akintola was actually the one that got the assist for Rizespor to make it 1-1. And Olawinyi also started as a central midfielder for Rizespor. David Okereke played 90 minutes for Gaziantep in their 2-1 win over Sivasspor, so they're now 10th. And next up for them, they play Trabzonspor. In Portugal, another player that the writing's on the wall in terms of his manager not really appreciating him or favouring him as a footballer, even though he's come back from injury, is Edu Sanusi. Porto's manager, Martin Anselmi, it just seems like doesn't like the guy, man. He brought Sanusi on for slave minutes in the final 5 minutes of Porto's win against Roma. And then he was not even in the squad in their 1-0 win over Farense over the weekend. So watch this space on that one. Let's see if he gets some minutes in the return leg against Roma away on Thursday, or if he plays against Vitoria Jumaresh on Monday next week. In the Greek League, Bruno Yemaji finally made his debut for Olympiacos, came on for the final 27 minutes in their 4-0 win over Panathinaikos. They remain 2 points ahead in the table. I think there's about 13 games left in Greece. So at least from a glory perspective, it wasn't quite Todd Bowley that saved him, but it was Angelos Marinakis. The Nottingham Forest owner also owns Olympiacos. And Onyeka has gone from playing relegation battle games with Boavista to now being able to challenge for a league title. So shout out to him. Next up for them, they play PAOK at home, who are the current champions. Remember, that was where Trust Ekong was at last season. But PAOK are now fourth. So you'd expect a routine win for Olympiacos in this one on Sunday. In Belgium, I already spoke about Tolu Arokodare's exploits for Genk. 15th league goal of the season in their 2-1 win of Standard Liège. They're back first in the league. Their next match is against Ghent at home, so be up against Jonathan Torunariga. Speaking of Jonathan Torunariga, he played in Ghent's 3-0 loss to Real Bassey in the Conference League on Thursday, and he was not in the squad for their 3-2 win over Beshut. I'm not sure if he's injured, but let's see if he plays against Genk away over the weekend or in the return leg against Real Betis, which is already over for sure. Rafael Onyeka, on the other hand, he of course played 90 minutes in the Champions League for Club Brugge in their 2-1 win over Atalanta. Of course, I mentioned it was a very dodgy penalty given to Club Brugge in stoppage time to win the game 2-1. But nevertheless, shout out to Onyeka for a good performance. Guys, if you have not watched the highlights, go and watch this penalty that they gave to Club Brugge. It's one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in my life. And guess where the referee was from? Turkey. With all the controversy about Turkish refs, just go and watch it. That's all I'll say on that. So anyway, Onyeka played 45 minutes for Club Brugge over the weekend as St. Truden, probably being rested because they have the Champions League second leg this Tuesday. So we'll see Onyeka in action tomorrow, and hopefully, do I want Onyeka to win? Well, Onyeka versus Lookman, so anyone that wins will take it. And Nigerian is going out of Champions League, and Nigerian is going to remain Champions League. So either way, we'll watch. So good luck to both of them, and we'll see how they perform. And then they play Standard Liège at home on Sunday. As for Victor Udo, who was at Royal Antwerp, he has now made a move to Southampton. He's 20 years old, so it looks like Southampton see him more for their development squad. He's not going to be starting games right now. He's really a raw player, so watch this space. But anyway, I'm sure they have an eye on their championship season that is coming. So let's see how he performs or just progresses in terms of his play. And then in Scotland, Cyril Dessers played 90 minutes while Leon Balogun was not in Rangers squad as they beat Hearts 3-1 on Sunday. I saw an interview of Leon Balogun saying he deserves a recall to the Nigerian national team. I'm not sure if he said he deserves or he would like. Let me not misquote him. But on current performance, I don't believe he does, Sha. But good luck to him. He's a nice guy, and I wish him all the best in his life. Czech Republic, Iwobi played 90 minutes. Slavia Prague beat Baník Ostrava 1-0. Next over then, they play Victoria Pilsen. They need to maintain that win to stay in first place. While Victor Olaji was on the bench for Sparta Prague in their 3-2 win over Karvina on Saturday. I want to see Iwobi make a move from Czech Republic League. I'm not going to be covering Czech Republic League on this podcast going forward. I don't think Czech Republic League is strong enough for us to be covering it, considering how useless their teams were in the Europa League as well as the Champions League in this big group stage. So watch out for that space. As for PSL, Stano Abali played 90 minutes, made 5 saves. This is how useless Chipa United are. Okay, goalkeeper make 5 saves and he still lost 3-0 to Kaiser Chiefs. Cut him some slack now. A old star boy like our player. Anyway, next up, they play Cape Town City tomorrow on Tuesday, and then they play Sekohune United at home on Saturday. So that's it in terms of the league roundups. Ones to watch for the week, starting with the Champions League tomorrow. Chukwueze, AC Milan at home against Feyenoord at San Siro. Be there or be squared. That's one of the early kickoffs, so it's going to be 6:45 p.m. Nigeria time, 5:45 p.m. UK time, and add the time difference depending on where you watch. Shout out to our listeners in Canada, America, and everywhere. I see you guys, man, and appreciate all the love. And then we have the Niger Derby in the Champions League. We know Lookman is not going to play, but Atalanta will be hosting Rafael Edika's Club Brugge. This will be a 9 p.m. kickoff in Nigeria in the Champions League. And then on Thursday in the Europa League, we have a bunch of our players playing. Osimhen's Galatasaray hosts AZ Alkmaar. Also early kickoff, 6:45 p.m. Zedu Sanisi's Porto go away to play Roma at the Stadio Olimpico. He probably will not play, but watch this space. Early kickoff as well. Also, Jordan Torunariga's Ghent are in action against Real Betis away. The tie is already dead. They're 3-0 down. Forget about it, 6:45 p.m. And then Osayi-Samuel's Fenerbahce go away to play Anderlecht. The game is done. They won the first leg 3-0, so it's over. The only one that I'll say watch is if Osimhen can miraculously drag Galatasaray to beat AZ Alkmaar. But the way the Dutch teams have been playing in the Champions League and European leagues this season, you got to respect them, man. PSV and Feyenoord are doing well in Champions League. Ajax are doing well in the Europa League. And then, AZ Alkmaar doing well in Europa League as well. So, real Dutch heritage going on right there. But if anybody can help and save the day, I would like to see Osimhen try. And then, after that, Friday, back to league games. Premier League action. Ndidi's Leicester hosts Brentford in the Friday game. Friday night football. And on Saturday, we have a bunch of our players playing. Dele-Bashiru's Lazio away against Venezia. 3 p.m. kickoff in Nigeria. Tella and Victor Boniface Leverkusen go away to play Holstein Kiel in the Bundesliga. And then we'll see Iwobi and Bassey's Fulham host Crystal Palace at Craven Cottage. We'll also see Aribo and Onuachu Southampton host Brighton, also in the 4 p.m. kickoff in Nigeria. And then Chuba Akpom's Lille hosts Ilenikena's Monaco, 5 p.m. Nigeria time. And then we'll see Umar Sadiq's Valencia host Atletico Madrid in a late kickoff, 6:30 p.m. Nigeria time. Hopefully he can kick on and score another goal. And then in the late game, we'll see Gabriel Osho's Auxerre host Marseille, 9:05 p.m. kickoff Nigeria time. On Sunday, we'll see Olaino's Nottingham Forest go away to play Newcastle United at St. James's Park, 3 p.m. kickoff in Nigeria, while Osayi-Samuel's Norms will be looking for respite after the 7-1 drubbing as they host Hamza Ojediron's Lons at 3 p.m. Nigeria time in League 1. We'll also see Tolu Arokodare's Genk go face-to-face with John Torunariga's Ghent. In fact, Torunariga will probably be marking Arokodare, so that should be a tasty one to watch. And I know they show the Belgian League, some of the games on ESPN in Nigeria, so watch, support our boys. And then Getafe's Christantus Uche, home against Real Betis. Make sure you watch this one. I know they show La Liga well in Nigeria. In fact, that's one of the things that I was pleasantly surprised about when I was back home recently. And then on Monday, the big one in Turkey, Victor Osimhen's Galatasaray host Jose Mourinho and Bright Osayi-Samuel's Fenerbahce at home. Be there or be squared. I know this one's on ESPN in Nigeria too. 6 p.m. Nigeria time. And then Ejuke Sevilla will host Real Mallorca, 9 p.m. Nigeria time, Monday night. So hopefully Ejuke can build on his assist and probably even start the game. To round up the podcast, Star Boy of the Week. Number one, well, we have to share bronze medal, I won't lie. Shared this week, Gift Urban for scoring his 3rd goal in 4 games for Hoffenheim, and they actually won the game 3-1 against Werder Bremen. Fantastic game, fantastic performance, and a lovely goal as well with his head as well. Nodding it back across. Speaking of someone else who scored with his head, Calvin Bassey. It's not every day you score a goal when you're a centre-back. It was a massive goal for Fulham in the Snapchat derby against Nottingham Forest. And also just seeing the love against how his teammates, were just happy for him. Fulham have every chance of making a European spot this season. So they need to get as many points as possible. So shout out to Calvin Bassey for getting that goal. Silver medal, when you come off the bench and you score 2 goals in 29 minutes, one great finish with your head, one great finish with your left foot, you, my boy, are a star boy. First games after injury as well. So Ilenikhena, you are my silver medalist for the week. And of course, gold medal, Victor Osimhen, superstar extraordinaire, the main man himself. Leading Galatasaray onto the charge to win the league title. We know they win it every year, but still, let Osimhen come and get some. He's about to win the title himself. 2 goals in a big win for Galatasaray against Rizespor earlier today. I mean, as I said already, fantastic finishes. While about Osimhen, he's just a problem to any defense or set of defenders. Just put it in the mixer. First goal, they just put it in the mixer. Bang! Straight with his head. Baby. Second goal as well. Like I said already, from a corner, 86th minute, pressure points. Fenerbahce will probably hate watching that game, thinking, I'm sure Mourinho had his iPad on, like, man, they're going to drop some points today. Osimhen said, not on my watch. Not on my watch. What a great header after Lemina nodded the ball his way. And I love when the ball then bangs off the post into the net. So great game. All around amazing performance from our star player. Go and check socials, he's everywhere. And the emotion he showed after scoring that goal, honestly, was just beautiful to see. So Victor Osimhen, as always, as you've been so many times, you are the star boy of the week. And I'd like to once again talk about my new artwork of the star boy himself. So shout out to Victor Osimhen. Obviously, you see what I've done with the space. I've tried to, commemorate what's important to Nigeria. The CAF African Footballer of the Years. both of them. Alex Iwobi flanked by, his uncle JJ, probably the greatest or one of our greatest footballers ever. I don't want to be controversial. Some people say it's Kanu. And of course, the most important kid in Nigerian history as far as sales. Shout out to Igalo, top marksman, the last Nigerian player to actually be the Golden Boot winner in an AFCON. And then, of course, Boniface in the corner. And just to represent Arsenal, I had to show my goats, Thierry Henry. So, what else do I want to say? Shout out to every single listener. We are literally 35 subscribers away from hitting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. You guys have been showing me a lot of love and enjoying the content and commenting and giving me loads of thumbs ups and likes. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everything. Even the Instagrams, the socials, running it up. Instagram and TikTok. Oshe, more appreciated, Dada, thank you very much. So keep it up for me. We'll continue to bring out this content and churn it out, which is why I'm just trying to improve the settings and, the whole structure of everything so we can get as professional as possible, So shout out to everybody. Thanks again to all the listeners. Remember, we're Nigeria Football Weekly on all social media channels, except Twitter, where we're at NFWPOD. Enjoy all the football coming through the week, starting with the Champions League tomorrow. And of course, I'll be bringing you another episode next week, Monday, to do a recap of all the performances of our players over this coming week. Until next time, take care, peace out, and enjoy all the football. Ciao, ciao. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and click the bell to get a notification whenever we drop a video. You can also find our social media channels listed below. And of course, up Super Eagles and Nigeriano the ever carry last.